Thanks for the follow, conspiracy music.
Blackface Democrats, you have overplayed your hand. Now, for Democrats as a whole, will class warfare work? That is going to be the question. For as long as I have been in politics, every time I've seen Democrats attempt to play class warfare, it has blown up in their face. But there has never been a time where I am looking at the economy the way it looks now. There has never been a time where we are looking at the possibilities of what AI can do to our economy like we are looking at them now. There's never been a time where housing has been where it is, where electricity prices, gasoline prices, energy prices as a whole are where they are, where food is increasingly becoming more and more expensive, and as more farms fail to secure fertilizer for the next planting season, that could be further exacerbated. There's not been a time where we had the culmination that we have now. And again, you can look back and say, yes, we did think about the Great Depression. Well, after the Great Depression, you got the New Deal. You could say, yes, you did think about after like the fall of communism and the government reset. After that, you got Great Society. Is that really a roll of the dice that you're willing to take? Another big, giant government subsidized program that never ever gets canceled and continues to pile debt upon debt upon debt towards our already exploding debt and deficits? Is that really what you want? Because that's what we're walking into. If conservative grassroots do not understand, the time is now. You are being set up in ways that can guarantee you success. You are being given an opposition force that is already splitting itself in half. You are seeing the obvious splits and fissures on your own side that are easy to exploit if that's what you choose to do. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I don't know if you get asked this question a lot, if you get put in a position where you actually think your opinion of what should happen next actually matters. So I kind of want to put you in that position. What are you going to do next? What do you want to see happen next? What do you want to see play out? Have you actually thought about it, verbalized it, written it down? Have you ever thought processed it out of if we do this, how will it look? How will it affect? Have you done any of that? This is just the mental work. Before you actually get up and actually do something, have you thought it through? The reality is most of you don't. You don't even think it through. You wait for a pundit, a commentator, a talking head to tell you what is important. And after they tell you what is important, you decide to parrot what they say or to say nothing at all. We cannot continue this way. The right cannot continue this way. You have been given a handicapped oppositional force. You have been given the candidate of a lifetime that changed every power dynamic possible. And you are going to be re-given maps that change districts and possibility of what is possible in that aspect as well. Technology change, education change,
Hey, keep the spine in line. Welcome.
availability change. Everything is changing. What does it look like in your preview? Take a few minutes and figure that out, because that's going to be kind of important when someone in the future, when you're looking for someone that models what it is you want to see. It's probably preferable that you know what that is before it actually comes to that time. We're on that road. It is going to be 2028 before you know it. We are going to be having presidential debates before you know it. Like, everything is right there. Take the time for self-reflection right now. Take the time to actually figure out what you stand for, what your principles are, where your hypocrisy lies, where your bias puts you. All of those things give you an awareness of who you are and let you navigate politics a lot better. Do that, because you need to know what class you're in. You need to know what class you're defending. You need to know why you're defending that class. You're not going to be able to say colorblind anymore. You're not going to be able to run back to your old tropes. Every single argument is going to be different, and it's going to be coming from an eclectic group of people with diversity as their strength, laying it all at your footsteps. And I don't think the right is ready for it. I don't think the right is ready for capitalism versus socialism. I don't think the right is ready for a realignment politically that doesn't necessarily end with conservatism being the operating principle of the right. It's a lot of unknowns right now. And if you do not have a grassroots population that is in the process of actually trying to figure it out, the other side is going to figure it out for you. Because I can promise you, the Democratic Socialists, they're organizing. Are you organizing against them? 2028, right around the corner. You know how we end these things. Until we meet again, be good to each other.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Trucking fleet owners, enjoy extra savings on used trailers when you buy direct from Schneider now. For a limited time, buy one dry van trailer at list price and get a second dry van trailer of equal or less value for 40% off. This deal is for 2015 model years only. Pick from the most popular trailer brands, including Great Dane, Hyundai, and Wabash. Schneider also has a large selection of flatbed and tanker trailers available. Don't miss your chance to upgrade for less. Shop our inventory at SchneiderTrucks.com. That's SchneiderTrucks.com.
The songs and stories that ignite imaginations.
Shared from generation to generation.
Together on one channel, Disney Hits.
Music from classic animated films and favorites from today.
Share the magic of Disney hits.
Channel 133 on most radios and at home with the SiriusXM app on your phone, computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
I'm Katie Nolan, and I host a show on SiriusXM Mad Dog Sports Radio called Fan Service. It's a show that is as much yours as it is mine. It's all about conversation. I'll throw out some things that are on my mind, but it's really a space where you can ask about anything going on in the world of sports and pop culture.
Thank you for having a refreshing way of approaching sports media.
Fan Service with me, Katie Nolan. Weekdays at noon Eastern, only on Mad Dog Sports Radio Channel 82 in the car and on the SiriusXM app.
Freedom never gets old. Celebrating America 250. SiriusXM Patriot 125.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Mary Rose. U.S. forces are searching for two missing service members in Morocco. The U.S. Africa Command says the two were reported missing in southwestern Morocco Saturday while taking part in a joint military exercise involving NATO allies and African partner nations. The U.S. is adding pressure in the standoff with Iran over the Strait of Hormuz. The United States is warning shipping companies that they could face sanctions if they pay Iran to safely pass through the Strait of Hormuz, where about a fifth of the world's trade in oil and natural gas typically passes. The U.S. Office of Foreign Assets Control says those payments to Iran could include transfers in digital assets, offsets, or informal swaps. Iran effectively closed the strait by threatening and attacking ships after the U.S. and Israel launched a war February 28th. The U.S. responded with an April 13th naval blockade of Iranian ports. I'm Donna Ward. Correspondent Julie Walker reports on Spirit Airlines shutting down, leaving customers stranded and scrambling. Low-cost airline Spirit shutting down Saturday after not getting a government bailout, blaming several factors, including high fuel prices, leaving customers scrambling to get home. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy.
We oftentimes don't have $500 million laying around in the spare account that we can put into a bailout of an airline.
Meanwhile, at the Atlanta airport, flight attendant Freddie Peterson was surprised to find out he was out of a job.
The original one that we took into New York last night had 200 people on it. It was completely so.
Secretary Duffy says customers can get refunds or rebook low-cost flights. I'm Julie Walker. Oregon police are investigating the death of a man who plowed a car packed with explosives into a Portland social club. More on these stories at townhall.com.
In today's fast-paced world, professionals face endless projects, deadlines, competition. To thrive, you need mental clarity, sharp focus, and reliable memory. That's why the same company that brings you Relief Factor created Think Factor. Think Factor is designed to help you think clearer and perform better daily. It's a powerful blend of nutrients that supercharges your memory and sharpens your focus. You can stay on top of your work and outshine the competition. After a couple of weeks of taking Think Factor, I noticed a dramatic difference in my clarity, my focus, even my memory. And you know what? The longer you take Think Factor, the better the results are. If you've ever felt mentally foggy or struggled to keep up with everything on your plate, well, Think Factor can help you reclaim your cognitive edge and thrive in your life. Call 800-4RELIEF, 800, the number 4RELIEF, or Think Factor. Call 800-4RELIEF or visit relieffactor.com. Your first bottle, just $19.95. Think Factor. Think clearer, perform better daily.
U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson is calling this week's 6-3 Supreme Court decision a game changer for this year's midterm elections. The High Court ruled that congressional districts mapped on the basis of race are unconstitutional. On the Salem News program this week on Capitol Hill with Tony Perkins, the Louisiana Republican predicts far-reaching impact on 2026 voting.
We're going to get a new map in Louisiana. I think a number of the states in the South may get the same treatment because their maps are also drawn on an unconstitutional basis at this point. The more people recognize that, the greater the chance is we get maps that accurately reflect the populations of those states. I think in the end of this, the Republican Party will gain a number of seats, and that would be helpful to the House.
Connecticut passes a new vaccine law that legislation removes religious exemptions for all shots deemed mandatory by the state and is likely to be challenged in court. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com.
And your workout.
Want to know why
I love this country? It's very simple. Give me one other country on planet Earth and society throughout human history where if you work hard and you want it bad enough, you can make anything in your life happen. You can go from nothing to something in one generation and pass it down to your kids. That's how freedom works. And that's why I love this country. The Will Count Majority. Weekdays from noon to 3 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM Patriot. Freedom never gets old.
Wesley Financial Group is not an law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-848-1331. That's 800-848-1331. 800-848-1331. In a world drowning in AI everything, where your news feeds and shows get faked and filtered, there's still one place showing real stories, real moments, live. Reels Plus, home to America's #1 cable entertainment program, on Patrol Live, capturing police in real time across the U.S., plus thousands of hours of true crime, policing, and celebrity stories. So escape the fake and choose what's real. Subscribe now for just $4.99 per month and get a free 7-day trial at ReelsPlus.com. That's Reels with a Z, or anywhere you get your streaming apps. The best of Sean Hannity is on now. Now we're coming to your city. Gonna lay our guitars and sing you a country song. We'll be giant, higher than a tail I know. And if you want a little bang in your yin yang, come along. We're going to reschedule. We're going to do it again. We're not going to let anybody take over our society. We're not going to cancel things out.
Because there's still people in leadership at the Secret Service that were responsible for Butler. How does that happen? It was a failure.
Democrats pushing their colleagues to begin building a case against President Trump now in anticipation of a day one impeachment vote if they retake the House. If you become Speaker, is that your top priority?
Of course not.
Freedom is back in style. Welcome to the revolution.
Yeah, we're coming to your city. Gonna lay our guitars and sing you a country song.
Sean Hannity Show. More behind-the-scenes information on breaking news and more bold, inspired solutions for America.
That's Nice Scott Shannon. Hour 2, Sean Hannity Show. 800-941-SEAN, our number if you want to be a part of the program. Look, I would argue, and I keep going back to the same words I've been using, and you have a sweep of an area. Then you secure the area that you have swept, make sure that nobody can then contaminate it, if you will, or get into that area because it is secure at that point and it remains secure. The last part of the equation is the perimeter, and I have been in very secure locations. There have been other instances. I've been around other heads of state, and I can tell you the level of security is far greater than that of our own government. I'm just giving you the facts. Now, this does not in any way impugn the great work of the guys that were on the ground responding to the threat, but I'm saying that the threat needed to be avoided. And you can argue, and I've heard people arguing, well, there's no way to sweep an entire hotel, and my answer is, tell me why not? It has to be done. And if you go to this lunatic with his manifesto, he's actually mocking how easy it was for him to get these guns in place, and that to me is frustrating. I can tell you, for example, when we go to DNC convention or the RNC convention, usually there is an outer perimeter, and then you go through a checkpoint, and then they check your credentials, and then you go through another checkpoint, and that's where you get wanded and go through a magnetometer. Then by the time you get inside, you do it again, and so there are multiple layers of multiple checkpoints,
I can tell you going into the RNCD and say at least 3 times, sometimes 4, and I had to, take all the stuff out of my pockets, get wanded, go through a mag, at least twice, and I was going through the press entrance. In other words, they probably make it a little bit easier. I'm not sure if that should be the case either. Anyway, Nicole Parker is with us, author of The 2 FBIs, The Bravery and Betrayal I Saw in My Time. Also, Gary Byrne, author of The Secrets of the Secret Service, The History and Uncertain Future of the U.S. Secret Service. I don't mean to in any way disparage anybody at the Secret Service. I have great respect for the fact that these guys, all of them to a fault, the people that I've known and met, are all willing to take a bullet for the president. But I'm telling you, there's something institutionally wrong with what we're doing here. And if we don't fix it, we're going to have a massive catastrophe in this country. Anyway, well, both of you, Nicole, first off, I think it's important to delineate this is not an FBI problem. The FBI, the FBI director, Kash Patel, he'll be on TV tonight, has said the FBI will offer all the help, aid, support they can. We do have a problem. This comes under the purview of the Department of Homeland Security. We have a new Secretary, Mark Wade Mullen. But more importantly, we've also had a funding of the Department of Homeland Security issue. The Secret Service is part of that funding, and they're expected to run out of funds this very week of all weeks, and hopefully that will get resolved. So it really isn't the purview of the FBI. However, they're going to be a big part of the investigative part of this, which we already know pretty much everything I think anyone would ever want to know about this guy.
Right. So first of all, I, have such deep respect for the Secret Service. I worked with the Secret Service. I actually worked an event with President Trump when I was in the FBI, worked closely with the Secret Service, and it went off flawlessly. And so I agree with you. I heard your words, Sean, on Saturday night. It was alarming to think, we went through Butler and then obviously the Palm Beach golf incident. Look, it's not impossible to sweep an area or a hotel. Would it be difficult? Yes. Impossible? No. But I think it comes back to the safety and security of the president and his administration and the cabinet. It doesn't matter what it is. It's got to be safe and secure. The ballroom, it just continues to give justification. They need the funding for, they're not even asking for funding for this. We just need the support of this.
It won't cost the taxpayers a dime, not a penny.
Exactly. And so I don't understand what the issue is there. But going back to what happened on Saturday, I found it quite alarming, obviously. But on a similar note, my sister recently went to the Easter egg hunt at the White House, on the White House lawn. And the first comment she said to me when she got back to Austin, Texas was, wow, I was surprised that I was never asked for my identification. I didn't have to provide it before I went. She was absolutely flabbergasted. She went through a magnetometer when they, got on site. But that was pretty much it. But I do appreciate and respect that this is a constantly evolving situation, and they are going to improve things. And I have no doubt that in these meetings, they're going to continue to improve things. I obviously was not in the Secret Service, but having worked with them and talked to Secret Service agents, we're in a different environment now. It is a different threat. And we've got to step up the game across the federal government and the FBI, the Secret Service, DHS, because we've got elevated threat levels that we have never seen before. But yet some of our systems are quite antiquated, and our protective models are sometimes antiquated. And to step it up to meet the demands and use the technology that we have at our fingertips now, I think that's something that they will absolutely be looking at the protective model. I think even the FBI is going to be looking at things with AI, things that we can do on researching and getting things up to speed so that we can be ready and prepared and not have something like this ever occur again. But Sean, you and I know these people are evil. They have no moral conscience, and this will continue to happen. Evil is not going away. We just have to be on our A game to stop it and to protect Americans, and particularly to protect the president of the United States. But again, this is not just a Secret Service problem. This is a law enforcement problem across the board.
Let me go to you, Gary, and let me go back to the 3 examples we have, and I believe there's one common theme. If you look at Butler, there's no justification for somebody getting within 130 yards, getting on a ladder, getting on top of a roof, setting up and taking a shot at Donald Trump. That tells me that the area was not secure. It wasn't swept properly, and the proper perimeter was not set up, because a good shot could hit
hit a target from 1,500 yards away, never mind 130 yards away. So then you look at Trump International. I mean, the holes where the president was coming up to, and if it wasn't for one sharp-eyed Secret Service agent that just happened to catch a glimpse of somebody in the trees, those treed areas are known for where paparazzi stalk Donald Trump and have stalked him for years to get video or pictures. It was never swept, never mind secured. And never mind the perimeter set around. Once it's secured, nobody should be able to go up or down that street without being watched the entire time. In this case, too, the perimeter was set up way too close to the event. They never swept the entire hotel. They didn't secure the area in the hotel. The idea that you have people that would be able to get a room in the hotel and walk down with a gun and then, walk right up to the perimeter 50 yards away from the room where many people could have been slaughtered is insane to me.
Yeah, you're 100% right, Sean. And like I said before, it's one of the reasons I wrote Secrets of the Secret Service. What happened on Saturday night, there should have been, and I've been to the, in the United, inside the Secret Service, we refer to it as the Hinckley Hotel, because that's where Reagan was almost assassinated. And so the hotel actually built an underground garage so you can bring the president in after the Reagan attempted assassination. The hotel always cooperates with you. When I used to go there and do these events, different events, whatever floor we were on, there was an agent and an officer in every stairwell, at the top and the bottom of every stairwell. And they clearly dropped the ball. And if you also look at the video where the agent's standing there just before the man charges, typically there'd be 4 or 5 metal detectors. Why there wasn't, I don't know. But and after you put up those 4 or 5 metal detectors across, you take those big boxes that they come in, and you use them as a barrier. They had nothing to stop anybody from charging. They didn't try to stop anybody from charging until he ran past. And we also still don't know what the ballistics are. Who the UD officer that got hit in the vest? Who fired that round?
We don't know. I did have one person wonder out loud in the Secret Service, privately to me, they were wondering if it might be friendly fire. That would be scary. We don't know if this guy fired that shot. That's the one question we haven't got an answer to. All right, quick break. Right back. More with Nicole Parker and Gary Byrne on the other side. Then your calls this Monday are next. 800-941-SEAN, our number if you want to be a part of the program. For a lot of Americans, struggling financially is just a way of life, and even putting bare necessities on high-interest credit cards. Check them out on the web at AmericanFinancing.net/Hannity today.
NMLS 182334, NMLS Consumer Access.org, APR for rates in the 5-star at 6.327% for well qualified borrowers. Call 866-615-9200 for details about credit calls and terms, or visit AmericanFinancing.net/Hannity. Average savings based on borrowers who save $199.99.
Are you ready to get out of the media spin room? Well, you come to the right place. This is the Sean Hannity Show.
Hey, everybody, this is Sebastian Maniscalco. Come to Sebastian Maniscalco's Comedy Radio to hear the Sebastian Maniscalco Show, as well as comedians who inspired me, up-and-coming talent, and the introduction of DJ Marinara playing my favorite dance tunes I grew up to. My exclusive 24/7 comedy channel is up and running, Channel 99, and on the Sirius XM app.
Got a backyard project or lawn to tame? For over 50 years, VP Racing Fuels has dominated racetracks around the world. Did you know your trimmer, chainsaw, or blower is a little air-cooled race engine, making VP Racing Fuels the logical choice to fuel it? Our specially formulated fuels promote smooth first starts and longer performing engine life. Available now at all your local retailers. Don't let low-quality fuels stall your weekend. When it matters most, choose VP Racing Small Engine Fuels.
Hi, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife, and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, Ethos, ethos.com/Slater. You can argue opinions all day long, but you can't argue results. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, your founder of Rough Greens. And for years, the big pet food companies have told you that their kibble has everything your dog needs. But here's the truth. That bag of food is cooked at such high temperatures, it's dead food. And when you feed dead food day in and day out, the fallout is itchy skin, achy joints, no energy, and endless trips to the vet. But when you add Rough Greens, you get the live vitamins, probiotics, enzymes, omega oils, and antioxidants that your dog needs. It's not marketing hype. That's real results. Senior dogs are running around like puppies. Skin problems, finally finding relief. And even the pickiest eaters are licking their bowl clean. That's proof the industry can't deny. I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to see it for yourself. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com, use discount code PROOF. That's RUFF Greens, discount code PROOF.
Every business is asking the same question. How do we make AI work for us? The possibilities are endless, and guessing is too risky. But sitting on the sidelines is not an option, because one thing is almost certain. Your competitors are already making their move. No more waiting. With NetSuite by Oracle, you can put AI to work today. NetSuite is the #1 AI cloud ERP, trusted by over 43,000 businesses. It's the unified suite that brings your financials, inventory, commerce, HR, and CRM into a single source of truth. That connected data is what makes your AI smarter, so it doesn't just guess, it knows. And you've got total flexibility, because now with NetSuite AI Connector, you can use the AI of your choice to connect to your actual business data and ask every question you ever had, from key customers to cash on hand to inventory trends. Plus, automate those tiresome manual processes. Let's see your competitors do that. Right now, get the Business Guide Demystifying AI free at netsuite.com/stocks. That's netsuite.com/stocks.
This is professional golfer Marco Mary. You heard me talk about Celebrity Greens, the company that builds championship-level synthetic putting greens at the homes of amateurs and professional golfers all across North America. Celebrity Greens is known for their great design, the use of the best materials, and amazingly high-quality installations. Their greens look great and perform like natural greens that I've played on my entire career. Now, Celebrity Greens is looking for additional sales and construction partners. If you're involved in the synthetic turf business or a contractor looking to expand your business, or an entrepreneur, give Celebrity Greens a call today. They are currently expanding across North America, and they will be opening new markets soon. And if you're an avid golfer wanting the convenience and the beauty of a custom green or a beautiful low-maintenance lawn in your own backyard, you should call them too. Contact Celebrity Greens at 1-888-507-7960 or visit them online at celebritygreens.com. Celebrity Greens, redefining private golf all across North America. Visit them online at celebritygreens.com. Celebrity Greens.
Hennion and Walsh was made for people like you. People who understand the value of experienced, highly skilled professionals. That's why you'll have access to a team of specialists to help you invest for the life you want. Why? You've earned it. We're Hennion and Walsh, and a team built around you. Get a second opinion. Call 800-279-5279 or find us online. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Hennion and Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Hennion and Walsh, member FINRA SIPC.
Podcasts.
We continue with Nicole Parker and Gary Byrne examining, yet what is obviously another failure. In terms of the lead up, I mean, the agents in the moment are phenomenal, but in terms of the lead up to now the third assassination attempt against President Trump, that things have to change, and they can't change fast enough. Let me give you a comparison. It was a couple of trips ago when the Prime Minister of Israel happened to be visiting Donald Trump. I ended up spending 2 hours with the Prime Minister, and I interviewed him. And I just spent a lot of time. Now, before you could even get your car into the hotel area parking lot, there had to be 80 agents that you had to go through, and the entire perimeter of the hotel on the outside was covered. The entire thing. It was an exhaustive search. Open your hood, open your trunk, get out of the car. They swept me there. They wanded me. I had to go through a mag. And then I get inside the hotel, and I'm actually met by a representative of the Prime Minister. I go through the same process again, another mag. And then I get to the elevator, and I'm stopped by agents at this particular elevator that was in the main lobby. Then I get up to 8th floor, not the floor. I get up to 8th floor. Then there's all these guys with, I would imagine, Uzis, but machine guns, staring at me. And then I have to check in and hand over my phone. And then I am escorted by armed people into a stairwell that is packed with guys with Uzis in them, up to a suite where the Prime Minister happened to be. Multiple layers. That didn't happen here. That didn't happen at Trump International. And it didn't happen in Butler. And they're not securing a large enough perimeter. Now, when I met Musharraf years ago in a New York hotel, he was here for the United Nations to interview him. When I interviewed General Sisi of Egypt, the amount of security and the number of guns in my face, it's breathtaking. And that's not happening here.
Yeah, so what you're discussing is the security they do for certain foreign dignitaries. And the problem is they're not doing it for our own president. And it goes back to what I've talked about before. They treat their employees like crap. They leave. They have this massive hiring. Sean, they're giving bonuses to join the uniform division that were 3 times my starting salary in 1991. Just a bonus to get them to come onto the job. They have destroyed the morale of the Secret Service, and they don't do anything to fix it. Now, I'm not bashing the new director. He got handed a crap sandwich, and he's trying to figure out how to eat it. But there's so many things that need to be fixed inside that agency. And one of them is that they're so overworked, they're exhausted. And every time I say that to somebody who should listen, like a politician or something, they roll their eyes at me. Because they've never worked a job. Now, Nicole understands it. 12, 14 hours a day. The next day, 20 hours a day. You're supposed to be off 3 o'clock in the morning, the phone rings, you're back at work. Day in and day out. You can't work people to death, and they do.
Well, then that's another problem. And the FBI has the same problem, Nicole, and that is they have a shortage, just like, the FAA. They all have, 1,000, 1,500 agents down. They were handed an Adam Schiff sandwich by the Biden administration.
That's exactly right. And I'd like to echo that because, again, speaking to Secret Service agents, their hours are longer than FBI. Okay. Working violent crime in the FBI. Yeah. I worked the longest hours of anyone in the FBI because we were pretty much working 24/7 because crime never stops in Miami. But the Secret Service agents are expected to be on point, zero fail mission, around the clock, working these extensively long shifts, Sean. They're spread thin. They're tired. It destroys many of their families' lives. They don't get to see their children. They're on airplanes. They're going all around the world. They're standing at point. You can never, ever make a mistake. And so, again, I agree that they have really destroyed morale over at the Secret Service based on my understanding, and people are exhausted, and they've just been spread way too thin. And I cannot have this conversation without saying the DEI hires, not just at the Secret Service, but at the FBI and all of the law enforcement agencies that have come into these departments, starting with Obama era, have been catastrophic. Okay, and I as a woman will proudly tell you, I was qualified to get my job. So when you put people who are not qualified, you're allowing them to get through programs, get through firearms, get through things that they are not eligible to even get past. The physical fitness failure rate at the FBI, I hear about this all of the time. They can't even pass what we call the PFT shot.
Yeah.
A very basic physical fitness test. If you're not hiring the brightest and the best, there's going to be problems, but yet they feel this pressure. We've got to increase the hiring because we are so spread thin.
Well, I got to tell you, we'll get into this more as time goes on, and I know you're joining us on TV tonight, but this is preventable. And if 3 instances now don't wake us up, I don't know what will wake us up. Appreciate both of you. Thank you so much for joining us. Nicole Parker and Gary Byrne. 800-941-SEAN is our number if you want to be a part of the program. We'll get to your calls coming up here in mere moments.
Hey, you're listening to the best of the Sean Hannity Show. We'll have more of your favorite guests, topics, and memorable moments. That's all coming up.
Hey, what the heck is wrong with this thing?
Because of his bold and historic
programming will return after the game, but you can listen to this channel right now or anytime by streaming.
It's on right now. Channel 64.
Guess I'm the problem.
Speed on Sirius 209, XM 176, and Internet 871.
Morgan Wallen Radio, Channel 64, and in the Sirius XM app. Are you a business owner who's tired of banks dragging their feet, mountains of paperwork, and loan decisions based on your credit score? Signet Capital Group does business funding differently. Big banks care about forms, FICO scores, and long wait times. Signet cares about one thing: your revenue. If your business is bringing in consistent income, you can qualify fast. No endless paperwork, no red tape, and you're working with real people who actually understand small business, not some automated system. To qualify, you need to have been in business at least 1 year and averaging $50,000 a month or more in revenue. Signet can show you funding options in minutes. Grab your phone, dial pound 250, and say the keyword funding now. That's pound 250, keyword funding now. See your funding options in minutes. Dial pound 250, say funding now. Or visit signetcapitalgroup.com.
Looking for a great real estate agent to help sell your home for top dollar? Go to ready.com. On Ready, agents will pay you just for the opportunity to sell your home. Just give us your address. The best agents compete on Ready to be your agent with cash up front just to win your business. Your listing is valuable. Don't give it away. Make those agents earn it. Get paid to pick an agent. Go to ready.com or call 888-880-REDY. Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value for your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
Another accident? What happened? Our truck driver got cut off, and they're getting blamed. No witnesses, no proof, and insurance is skyrocketing. Wait, our drivers shouldn't take the blame for this? Exactly why we need Samsara. Their AI dashcam show real-time video proving when our drivers aren't at fault. So we protect our drivers and avoid false claims? Yep. Companies using Samsara have exonerated their drivers and saved millions on insurance.
Protect your drivers and your bottom line at samsara.com. Samsara. Operate smarter.
It's the last Friday of the month, and you're in the office late again. One report is still incomplete because you're waiting on one last receipt. You've sent emails, pinged Slack, maybe even wandered over to someone's desk. You've done everything except the actual job of closing the books. RAMP is for finance teams who are tired of the chase. Imagine this. A team member makes a purchase and you instantly see the charge, the receipt, and the category all in one place. No more digging through inboxes or chasing late submissions. RAMP automatically enforces your policies and blocks out-of-policy spend before it even happens. Instead of plugging holes, you're proactively steering the ship. It's how 40,000 companies like CBRE and Shopify are closing their books faster with fewer surprises and way less stress. And right now, your business can get $250 off just by signing up at ramp.com/talk. That's ramp.com/talk. Spend smarter, automate
Shopify
faster,
owns
and
this.
finally close the books without working overtime with Ramp.
When emergencies happen, cell service is often the first thing to fail. Towers overload, signals drop, and suddenly you can't reach the people who matter most. That's not just frustrating, it can be dangerous. Rapid radios are built for moments like that. These rugged, easy-to-use radios connect over a nationwide LTE network, helping you stay connected virtually anywhere. With no contracts, no monthly fees, and no complicated setup. Whether you're protecting your family at home, traveling off the grid, managing a job site, or preparing for severe weather, Rapid radios give you reliable communication when traditional networks fall short. Right now, you can save up to 60%, and every radio includes a full year of service. Be prepared before you need it. Go to rapidradios.com. That's rapidradios.com.
Not available in all states. Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary. Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program may only have to pay back a mere fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it could end your debt nightmare and save you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. For free information and to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, simply go online and visit DRA.com or call 800-474-1811. 800-474-1811. That's 800-474-1811. Wherever you get your podcasts.
You are listening to the best of the Sean Hannity Show.
Sean's got more behind-the-scenes information, more contacts than anybody, more friends behind the curtain. Sean Hannity is on.
At 25 now till the top of the hour, 800-941-SEAN, our number if you want to be a part of the program. Now, I told you about the Supreme Court ruling this morning. This is a big deal, as the Supreme Court decision against racial gerrymandering is probably going to have a huge impact on the 2026 elections, especially in the state of Florida. Anyway, as a consequence of this decision, Republicans in 8 states now have a chance to redraw more than a dozen congressional districts, all of which are held by Democrats. Now, Governor Ron DeSantis in my free state of Florida has already said that he plans to redraw these districts, and it could very well result in 4 or more seats that would be safer for Republican candidates. This is going to be a big deal, especially in light of the fact, as I told you, I didn't think what happened in the Commonwealth of Virginia would ever hold constitutional or judicial review or constitutional muster. But anyway, the impact of this is far beyond Congress. Maps for state legislatures and county boards and city councils and other governmental bodies. You know, since the Voting Rights Act was passed in 1965, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, by the way, historically, it was Lyndon B. Johnson that relied on Republicans to get this over the finish line. Because people like Al Gore's father and people like former Klansman KKK Byrd, and Joe Biden, who once partnered with the former Klansman to stop the integration of public schools. Just a little history. It took Republicans to get the 64 Civil Rights Act passed, the Voting Rights Act passed in 65.
Someone started late. I ain't even gonna make this late.
Experience
This
the
guy's not even
most
gonna try.
high-profile impact of today's Supreme Court ruling. And given how closely divided the chamber is, this could have a big impact. What does it mean, especially in the state of Florida? Well, it's too early to determine, but I think in light of what Governor DeSantis has said, this is probably going to be a state that is highly watched by everybody, and I think probably the most impactful. Jim Swartzel is with us. He's in the 19th district, which would comprise Naples and Bonita Springs, and I assume places like Fort Myers as well, is with us. Sir, welcome back to the program. Glad you're with us. How are you?
Thank you, Sean. Yes, District 19 is all of Southwest Florida, from Cape Coral to Naples, Florida. Your former home.
No, I lived there. I had a place in Southwest Florida for over 20 plus years and love Southwest Florida. I can tell you the best restaurants in Naples on Fifth Avenue, Chops, Regina's. And if you want the best people watching in the history of mankind, go to the Blue Martini, which I'm sure you don't frequent.
I do not.
No, most normal people would not. But anyway, so what do you think the impact of this is going to be? And what do you think the Tallahassee's impact is going to be on this, on top of it?
Well, I'm pleased to report that the Florida House and the Florida Senate just passed it. also the redistricting bill is making its way to Governor DeSantis' desk. And I'm really proud of both President Trump and for Governor DeSantis for calling the special session and pushing this. I think the ruby red state of Florida will be properly reflected once this is done.
Yeah, I mean, we have a big radio presence there, as you know, on 92.5 Fox News Radio, which does extraordinarily well. And people in the area really love news, talk, information, etc. And I think that the people in Southwest Florida are definitely going to pay attention to this, and I think it could be more impactful than people have any idea about. What do you think?
Well, that's why I started 92.5 Fox News, and I'm proud to be one of your first affiliates in the country. And I remember when you even not recorded, but when you did some of your shows live from our studios in Fort Myers.
I do, and I still remember DeVoe Cadillac. I think I had more Cadillac Escalades than anybody in the history of buying Cadillacs, because I bought one after another, after another, after another, after another. And they're great people down at DeVoe, and I know they're a big advertiser of yours. Let's talk about, I mean, the beauty is so interesting because Florida to me is kind of bifurcated. You have in Southwest Florida, you have more people from the Midwest. In Southeast Florida, you tend to have more people from the Northeast. There's way too many former New Yorkers and people from New Jersey in Southeast Florida. There's a big difference.
There is, yeah. We have a lot more of people that are leaving the sanctuary cities of Chicago and Minneapolis and so forth and coming to Southwest Florida. And we're happy to have those strong Republicans that are distraught with their former hometowns here.
The only thing I say to people, and I don't care if you come from the Midwest, and by the Midwest I mean Ohio and Indiana and even Illinois, you have people that are moving to Southwest Florida, or people that are from the Northeast that move to Southeast Florida. The only thing I have to say is there should be one mandatory requirement. Don't bring your dumb liberal policies with you and ruin Florida the way you ruined the state you left.
We've had, since COVID, we've added over 1.5 million Republican registered voters. So it's the state's now ruby red and getting stronger every single day.
Now, have you gotten the support of the governor, or where do you stand with that?
Well, the governor is not weighing in on this race. What I'm doing is I'm supporting Byron Donalds and his race to be our next governor. He will be our next governor. And
he's going to win this race hands down. I haven't even paid that much attention to it because it's like a no-brainer.
Yep, and we need a strong, local, rock-solid conservative like myself to support President Trump like Byron did, 100%.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Do you worry at all about where we are at this moment? Now, I'm making the argument that the issues that will impact us in November have not even happened yet. In other words, if the war with Iran winds down, if we have enough runway time for the president's, he's laid an economic foundation for the country. We're talking about trillions of dollars of manufacturing investment, the largest tax cuts in history, energy dominance, all of these things combined. Once the war with Iran has had the time to wind down a little bit, I expect all of those policies now will begin to kick in, and I think people will see a significant increase in economic growth in the country, although they're feeling it already. I mean, the average American, I think, is getting $3,500 more in their refund check than they were getting prior to the one big, beautiful bill.
I agree, and even further so, what this Iran war has done is it's created a fracture in the Middle East. We're seeing the alliance that used to all be together, where you had all the Muslim countries from Iran to Saudi Arabia. They all kind of protected each other, and so that relationship has been fractured. They no longer support Iran, and just today the UAE dropped out of OPEC and OPEC Plus, meaning if that cartel falls apart in this process, it could have a wonderful impact on fuel prices plummeting.
It's amazing that people live in these other states and they have no idea how good they have it in Florida.
it is such a it's such a distinct difference. The infrastructure is better. You don't have a state income tax. You have very low gas taxes. Property taxes now are going to be dealt with. Where do you stand with the governor's idea of rolling back property taxes to pre-COVID levels, or maybe even more, maybe even eliminating them?
Well, there's so many proposals on the table. We have to get one of the proposals through so that we can get it. I mean, there's 10 or 12 different proposals of how to address property taxes, but it is an important issue in the state of Florida. And that's why we call it the free state of Florida. So we try to lower our taxes, and we try to keep term limits, and we try to do all these things to help make it what our federal government should be.
No doubt about it. We do appreciate your time, Jim Schwartzel. Thanks for running one of the best radio stations in the country, 92.5 Fox News Radio, and letting me be a part of it. We do appreciate you more than you know.
Thank you so much, Sean.
All right, 800-941-SEAN. Our number if you want to be a part of the program today. Now, we have other issues we're going to get to. In a stunning new generic ballot poll, it shows Republicans now tied with Democrats. And again, the Supreme Court decision will play into this for this year's midterm elections. Here's a headline you won't be seeing in the New York Times. Quote, midterm shocker. GOP tied with Democrats in latest stunning House poll. Now, this new survey from Harvard Center for American Political Studies and Harris found that Republicans and Democrats are tied in the generic congressional ballot roughly 6 months out of November's midterm elections. And I keep reminding you, really, all of you listening to this program have one thing to commit yourself to this year. That come hell or high water, you're going to commit your mind, your heart, and your soul that you are going to go out and you are going to vote in this election year. And you're going to view this as the most important midterm in your lifetime. We know what Democrats want to do. One in the House of Representatives, if in fact they get power. If in fact they ever got the House, the Senate, and the White House, James I'm sure you'll find this very interesting. The North Carolina Board of Elections identified 34,000 dead people on the state's voter rolls following a comprehensive data comparison with a federal database. 34,000 dead people. Anyway, they submitted 7.3 million voter records to the federal systematic alien verification entitlements database, and that's what they found. I mean, this goes to the heart. Why don't Democrats want voter integrity? Why did they not want the SAFE Act? Why don't they want proof of citizenship? Why don't they want voter ID? Why don't they want signature verification? Why don't they want chain of custody controls for people that send in mail-in ballots? Why don't they want updated voter rolls? Why don't they want partisan observers in every precinct in the country as people vote all day? Why don't they want paper ballots? Why do they want widespread early voting? I mean, you don't even know what the issues might be if you're voting a month before the election. They don't want it because that, in their minds, they think that will give them the greatest opportunity to cheat. It's that simple. The Agriculture Secretary, Brooke Rollins, identified 14,000 food stamp recipients who were driving luxury cars. Linda, you're going to love this. I've never wanted a Bentley. Do you like Bentleys? I don't like Bentleys. I think it's too pretentious.
100%.
Okay, so what they found, 14,000 individuals that have SNAP benefits driving, well, 3 of them were found driving Bentleys, 3 had Ferraris, 11 had Lamborghinis, 59 had Maseratis, 141 had a Porsche, 244 Alfa Romeos, 306 Land Rovers, and 2,098 Teslas. And that's just in one state. You can't make this up.
And I bet they all work very hard in the existing hospice centers that are currently located in burrito stands and in Ilhan Omar's restaurant.
Is that what you really believe?
I sure do.
By the way, London's real estate market. Did you see me with Piers Morgan last night by any chance?
I did.
What did you think?
I think that you and he have a very interesting, almost brotherly,
I like I'm not hiding.
My truck is bigger than your truck. You guys are friendly, but you go at it.
Oh, I mean, I did call him out on Neville Chamberlain's armor. I think the fact, and he did acknowledge that I was right.
I don't think anybody likes Starmer. I don't think Starmer's family likes Starmer. He's awful.
Well, does Macron's family like Macron?
Oh my God, Macron doesn't like Macron.
I think we are watching the death of a continent before our very eyes. And I'll be honest, my hope and optimism doesn't exist that they could actually step up and solve the major issues that they have.
Look at everybody who showed up at our own Congress yesterday. They showed up to see the king, but they won't show up to pass the SAVE Act. It's funny how they can make time for one thing and not the other.
Yeah, by the way, why were Democrats so giddy to see a king? I thought there were no king's people.
Exactly.
What's our favorite pasta sauce?
Silver palette pasta sauce. I bet you Chucky never had that before.
Silver palette pasta sauce and cranberry cereal, and you're going to love the taste, and it's healthier for you. America with the absolute truth. How has the left's agenda worked out for you? It is on right now.
The whole journey from New Jersey Nights to superstardom and stadium lights. Hi, I'm John Bon Jovi. So many folks over these 40 years have really been on a ride with this band. Generational anthems, exclusive concerts, and the story behind it all on their own channel. Bon Jovi Radio is the power of we. Bon Jovi Radio, channel 312 on most radios, and always on the Sirius XM app, wherever you stream.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Small business funding approved and funded same day? At a bank? Impossible. At Cardiff, it's the norm. My name is William Stern. In 2004, I built Cardiff to make it faster and easier to access business funding. We believe that if you have the revenue, you should have the capital. And that's why we've made it possible to get your business approved and funded as fast as today. Since 2004, Cardiff has funded over $12 billion for American small businesses, helping owners grow without the red tape. Our online application takes less than 5 minutes with absolutely zero impact on your personal credit. If you've been in business for at least a year and are doing $20,000 in monthly revenue, you could qualify for up to $500,000 in same-day funding. Don't let the big banks slow you down. Go to cardiff.co/SXM. That's cardiff.co/SXM. Real growth, fast funding. Cardiff. Borrow better.
Veterans and active duty service members. When your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
owner-operators. Get the high-quality truck you want for a more affordable payment. SFI is now offering an up to 20% reduction on the weekly payments of select truck models, including brand new units. Weekly payments as low as $600 are available. We have a huge inventory to pick from, including brand new and gently used Freightliners and low-mileage Internationals and Volvos. Don't miss your chance to upgrade your truck for less. Go to sfitrucks.com to apply and learn more. That's sfitrucks.com.
Imagine relying on a dozen different software programs to run your business, none of which are connected. And each one more expensive and more complicated than the last. It can be pretty stressful. Now imagine Odoo. Odoo has all the programs you'll ever need, and they're all connected on one platform, giving you peace of mind that your business is being taken care of from every angle. Odoo has user-friendly applications for CRM, accounting, inventory, manufacturing, marketing, HR, and everything in between. Basically, if your business needs it, Odoo's got it. Odoo sounds pretty amazing, right? So stop depending on all those expensive, disconnected platforms and let Odoo harmonize your business with simple, efficient software that can handle everything for a fraction of the price. Sign up today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com. Odoo, modern management made simple.
My name is Mark Fox. I'm the founder of Arizona Health. You've heard the drug commercials. They start by promising relief, and then they do something insane. They scare the hell out of you. Risk of stroke, heart attacks, permanent movement disorders, increased depression, thoughts of suicide. And they say it so fast and so calmly, we're expected just to accept it. But anxiety and stress aren't moral failures. They're often signs of a nervous system stuck in overdrive. So I asked a different question. Instead of suppressing the system, what if it helped it regulate itself? That's why we created Vibe. Vibe uses gentle, resonance-based frequency therapy to support your nervous system naturally. No drugs, no sedation, and no list of catastrophic side effects right at the end. Just a non-invasive way to help your body find balance again. If you're ready to question the idea that pills are the only answer, you can learn more at trashthepills.com. That's trashthepills.com. I'm Mark Fox. Calm without the crazy.
Who's crime?
Hey, don't forget, catch the best of the Sean Hannity Show every weekend right here on this station. And while you're running errands and doing chores or just relaxing, hey, make sure you are listening to the best of the Sean Hannity Show every week right here on this station.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-4181. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-4181. That's 800-575-4181. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Tour Edge Golf has launched their all-new Exotic Series drivers, offering explosive distance driven by industry-leading MOI, guaranteeing more accuracy and confidence off the tee. Designed with full carbon construction and pyramid face technology to achieve maximum distance, power, and forgiveness, the low-spin Exotics LS, the ultra-forgiving Exotics Max, and the speed-inducing Exotics Light drivers deliver performance above all else. 3 distinct designs, 1 uncompromising Exotic standard. Learn more about the Exotic Series at touredge.com.
Are you a business owner who's tired of banks dragging their feet, mountains of paperwork, and loan decisions based on your credit score? Signet Capital Group does business funding differently. Big banks care about forms, FICO scores, and long wait times. Signet cares about one thing: your revenue. If your business is bringing in consistent income, you can qualify fast. No endless paperwork, no red tape, and you're working with real people who actually understand small business, not some automated system. To qualify, you need to have been in business at least 1 year and averaging $50,000 a month or more in revenue. Signet can show you funding options in minutes. Grab your phone, dial pound 250, and say the keyword funding now. That's pound 250, keyword funding now. See your funding options in minutes. Dial pound 250, say funding now. Or visit signetcapitalgroup.com. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now. Rising energy prices, fragile supply chains, even threats of food shortages. It's no surprise that millions of American families are starting to take preparedness seriously. That's why My Patriot Supply created Family Preparedness Starter Packs. 1 full week of food for everyone in your family, plus water filtration, cooking tools, and backup power. All for as little as $100 per person. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com and get prepared today. That's MyPatriotSupply.com.
Freedom and the dignity of the individual have been more available and assured here than in any other place on earth. The price for this freedom at times has been high, but we have never been unwilling to pay that price. Freedom never gets old. Celebrating America 250. Sirius XM Patriot.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Mary Rose. Iran gives its latest proposal to the U.S. According to Iran's state-linked media, Iran says it wants issues between it and the United States to be resolved within 30 days and to end the war rather than extend a ceasefire. On Saturday, President Donald Trump said he was reviewing Iran's latest proposal.
They want to make a deal. They're decimated. They're having a hard time figuring out who their leader is.
The semi-official Noor news agency reports that Iran's proposal also calls for the U.S. lifting sanctions, ending the naval blockade, withdrawing forces from the region, and ceasing all hostilities, including Israel's operations in Lebanon. I'm Donna Warder.
Spirit Airlines has announced it is going out of business after 34 years. The ultra-low-cost airline, known for its bright yellow planes and deep discount fares, said Saturday it started winding down operations. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says other airlines are coming to the rescue of customers left stranded by Spirit.
United, Delta, JetBlue, and Southwest are capping their ticket prices for Spirit customers. It's going to vary between the airlines. You have to go to their websites to take advantage.
Former Spirit Airlines flight attendant Freddie Peterson is adjusting to the fact that he's now out of work.
Most definitely from the first show. I'm not as young as I used to be when I got on with Spirit. I'm 60 now, so I'm almost at that retirement. So, but if I have to work at McDonald's or Burger King or wherever to make sure my home is taken care of, my mortgage is taken care of, and my product is taken care of, that's what I got to do.
And it said all flights have been canceled and customer service is no longer available. The airline had been struggling financially since COVID-19. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit torquey, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-555-2085. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-555-2085. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-555-2085. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-555-2085 or biglou.com.
The Founding Freedoms Law Center has filed a lawsuit to block what it calls deceptive ballot language that asks Virginia voters to amend the state constitution. The amendment would grant an overarching right to reproductive freedom and abortion on demand, but Center President Victoria Cobb says the language deliberately does not inform voters that the amendment would override state laws, including parental consent before a minor's abortion or sterilization. This lawsuit is about whether the politicians who write the ballot, get to lie to you about what's actually on it. They do not. Not under our Constitution, not in our Commonwealth, not on our watch. The voters deserve the truth. Today, we're going to the court to demand it, and demand that they get it. The lawsuit asks the court to declare that the language as written is unconstitutional or block its enforcement. Breaking news, townhall.com.
We, the people of the United States, history. April 30th, 1789, George Washington is inaugurated as the first president of the United States in New York City. And on May 2nd, 2011, U.S. forces kill Osama bin Laden in Pakistan in a raid ordered by President Barack Obama. Counting down to America 250. Only on Sirius XM TV at 125.
Not a backyard project or lawn to tame. For over 50 years, VP Racing Fuels has dominated racetracks around the world. Did you know your trimmer, chainsaw, or blower is a little intercooled race engine, making VP Racing Fuels the logical choice to fuel it? Our specially formulated fuels promote smooth first starts and longer performing engine life. Available now at all your local retailers. Don't let low-quality fuels stall your weekend. When it matters most, choose VP Racing Small Engine Fuels.
Wesley Financial Group is not an offer.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-848-1331. That's 800-848-1331. 800-848-1331.
Now, back to the best of Sean Hannity.
Now we're coming to your city. Gonna play our guitar, sing you a country song. We'll all be flying higher than a bell I know. And if you want a little bang in your yin yang, come along. We're going to reschedule. We're going to do it again. We're not going to let anybody take over our society. We're not going to cancel things out. Because there's still people in leadership at the Secret Service that were responsible for Butler. How does that happen? It was a failure.
Democrats pushing their colleagues to begin building a case against President Trump now in anticipation of a day one impeachment vote if they retake the House. If you become Speaker, is that your top priority?
Of course not.
Freedom is back in style. Welcome to the revolution.
Yeah, we're coming to your city.
Sean Hannity Show. More behind-the-scenes information on breaking news and more bold, inspired solutions for America.
Next on an hour two, Sean Hannity Show, 800-941-SEAN. If you want to be a part of the program, there is a new survey out. Our friend Matt Towery, Insider Advantage, and it says everything that you would expect. And you know, the headline is Insider Advantage National Survey following the White House Correspondents' Dinner assassination attempt. Opinion shifts. Nearly 70% say that Congress should now fund the Department of Homeland Security. By the way, that includes the United States Secret Service, which, according to my sources this week, runs out of money. I mean, this is madness. This is insanity. Never mind the problems that we have pointed out, that they've got to sweep every inch of any area where a president is going to be. They've got to then secure and hold that area so that it doesn't get contaminated, meaning once you sweep it, you just don't walk away. You've got to secure it, and you've got to stay there. You got to hold it. The idea that, we had Butler 130 yards away, guy just jumping up on a ladder. The perimeter is not big enough. We know what a big perimeter is like because I've been to RNC, DNC conventions, and they have multiple perimeter layers that, can stretch out a half a mile to a mile away. I've been there. I've experienced it. I've been stopped 4 times to show my picture ID. I've had to empty my pockets 2 or 3 times to get into one of these conventions. They know how to do it. Trump International, they have a known area, paparazzi congregate. And meanwhile, they didn't sweep the area where known people were, right near where the holes of this golf course are. It's a layup shot, and if it weren't for one sharp-eyed Secret Service agent in that case, the president could have been a catastrophe. The president came within a millimeter of losing his life in Butler. And in this particular case, how is it possible a guy can get that close to the ballroom? Nobody has swept the hotel at all. And that is the common theme in all 3 instances. It's got to change, and it's got to change dramatically. And the idea that we're in the middle of a war with Iran, the number 1 state sponsor of terror that has already plotted and planned and schemed assassination attempts against Donald Trump, and we're not taking these matters more seriously. This is a disaster in the making. Anyway, let me play for you, the violent rhetoric of the left in this country. We've been playing it. Nobody else seems to want to play it. We will continue to play it. Listen.
Many of your fellow Democrats have used some heated rhetoric against the president. And do you think twice about that when something like this happens?
What rhetoric do you have in mind?
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
I don't understand why it's so difficult for the press to have a consistent narrative about how dangerous Trump is.
Do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do.
We have a Timmo Hitler in the White House right now. Yes, I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
When was the last time an actor assassinated the president?
We do now live in a country that has an authoritarian leader in charge. He's this creature, the worst thing on the face of the earth. But anyway.
You think he's the worst thing on the face of the earth?
I do, yeah, I do.
And I love that Caroline Levitt yesterday calling out Democrats by name just in the last week or two that have been making these incendiary comments. It's always, Nazi, fascist, racist, Gestapo, wash, rinse, repeat. This is dehumanizing and insightful rhetoric. There are sick people in this world. They know what they're doing. Anyway, let's play it.
Pages and pages of major Democrat Party elected officials saying, such as Rep. Hakeem Jeffries, just this month, said, "We are in an era of maximum warfare everywhere, all the time." Governor Josh Shapiro said heads need to roll within the administration. Senator Alex Padilla said people are, quote, dying because of fear and terror caused by the Trump administration. Senator Elizabeth Warren, President Trump is making the country look like a, quote, fascist state. Senator Adam Schiff saying President Trump using a dictator playbook. Senator Ed Markey calling President Trump a dictator, saying that this administration's actions are authoritarianism on steroids. Governor J.B. Pritzker, never before in my life have I called for mass protest disruptions. These Republicans cannot know a moment of peace. You have Rep. Presley saying, "We'll see you in the streets." Rep. Monica McIver, a Democrat representative on Capitol Hill, "We will not take this from Donald Trump. He thinks he's a dictator. We are at war."
These are Democrat elected officials calling for war against the president of the United States and his supporters. I could go on and on, but again, when you have people in positions of power that are saying things like this every single day for years, you are inspiring violence by people who are already mentally ill. And that's what we've seen against this president for far too long.
Right, joining us now is Matt Towery. He is the host of the leaderboard and pollster for Insider Advantage, one of the few polling groups that has historically for 11 years consistently polled Donald Trump accurately, unlike the rest of the legacy media mob. John Tillman, CEO of American Culture Project, founder of and CEO of the Hall of Giants, author, by the way, also of the new book, The Political Vice, How the Radical Left Controls America and the Path to Regaining Our Liberty. Welcome all of you. Matt, let's talk about your survey and what is it telling you?
Well, as you said, it's pretty much expected that the public would see this, and once again, they would be reminded of the need for homeland security to be completely funded. I might note that the lines and airports have gone way down only because Donald Trump decided to use an executive order to fund the TSA. Otherwise, we'd still have that madness going on as well. And also the president's approval rating. It's been underwater since the war. It's pretty much to be expected, particularly from some of the pollsters who take advantage of it to make sure it's really underwater. But we got the president's approval rating coming up once again. You remember this, Sean? The inflection point of the election back 2 years ago was after that shooting in Butler and then that second attempted shooting in Palm Beach. And from that point on, the president's approval ratings kept going up, and the numbers started to come closer together. Now, I'm not trying to take advantage of a circumstance. I'm just reporting the circumstance. But I will tell everyone right now, this event right now is another reset button. And if this war gets wrapped up in a clean way fairly soon, you're going to see the Republicans and Trump become much more competitive for the ball than they look like right now.
I think you're right. I think people have jumped the gun on this. I think it'll get a lot more competitive. What drives elections? Safety and security. I mean, peace and prosperity. Those are the things that drive elections. John, let's get your take.
Well, I think what's really fascinating to me about this is David Axelrod's out there complaining about Trump using this incident to sell the ballroom and the security of it as if this is somehow irrelevant because they never talked about it at the beginning. The ballroom is more important than ever for all the reasons just cited, but I think the most important thing is to recognize that we are in a propaganda war, and the left is so desperate because they know they cannot win elections by traditional politics. They have to use this eliminationist rhetoric to try to gin up their base and turn them out, because a huge swath of voters, both all black, brown, and white, across America are rejecting their moral arguments. The way we win from this point on, the way Trump wins from this point on, is by taking the moral high ground back. He won in 2024 because he had the moral high ground on immigration, no men and women's sports. He has the moral high ground on national security and Iran if he takes that shot and continues to make those arguments that this is the right thing to do.
Well, I think it's absolutely the right thing to do. And the president is very clear, and he keeps echoing the same message. They cannot have nuclear weapons. And for those people that didn't learn a damn thing from history in the last century and 100 million dead people, Matt Towery, I can't be stupid and I can't help ignorant, and I don't have any tolerance for people that don't understand it. The number one state sponsor of terror, they put no value on human life. They don't even put the value of life on their own children, as they indoctrinate them into strapping bombs on themselves to kill innocent men, women, and children, and promise them the reward of 72 virgins in heaven. Sorry, you can't really have a rational discussion with people that think this way.
Well, which is why we're having trouble wrapping this war up, because we've gone from having completely irrational leadership to completely insane leadership. And this can be very hard to figure out who you negotiate with to end this whole thing. And so the rhetoric, whether it's the rhetoric coming out of Iran, or rhetoric that he was just referring to here in this country, it has gotten out of control. And I want to say one thing. I want the Republicans to get a backbone. I want them to get a backbone. I want to know why in the world the leader of the Senate can't find ways to have leverage over these senators who won't vote on critical issues for Trump and won't bust that filibuster apart. Because if they did that, half the things we worry about right now, Sean, we could deal with and get fixed. It's not not like we have to win another midterm to save this country. We could do it right this minute. And you're not going to tell me that the leaders of the Senate can't find a way to have political leverage over these 4 or 5, and maybe Susan Collins is an exception because she's running for re-election. Even Mitch McConnell, if he wants a single bridge or a bus or anything of his, and by the way, his approval rating is at about 15% in his home state. Isn't that nice? I'm sure he's really proud of that, if he even knows what it is or if he's just even awake.
I don't even think he cares at this point. Exactly. I think he's half asleep.
He's got a lot of...
I don't know what's in the water in Kentucky. Something's going on in Kentucky.
You tell me. I mean, right between Rand Paul and Massey and McConnell, it's just unbelievable. But I put a call out today that Republicans finally get a backbone like the president. And we need to put... If it were me right now, I would be running ads in John Thun's home state, left and right, telling the people in that state what he's not doing. And I'd be doing it in every other state as well, because I'm really sick and tired of this lip service we get from Republicans and there's nothing to back up the president.
Well, I totally agree. You know, John, I'd like to see more of a backbone too. Quick break, more with Matt Towery, John Tillman on the other side. Then we'll get to your calls as well. The other news of the day coming up straight ahead. Also, 800-941-SEAN as we continue.
If you're ready to get out of the media spin room, you've come to the right place. This is the Sean Hannity Show.
Got kicked out of the house again, Johnny. We lost an OT, and I threw the remote through the TV. There goes your bundle and our playoffs at home. You've got Sirius XM, right? Now all the games, hometown announcers, right on the app. You are useful. Turn it on. Get every game of the NHL and NBA playoffs on Sirius XM and the Sirius XM app. Every game, every team, and your hometown announcers all in one place. But if you throw anything at my radio, you're walking.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
And Mike Slider, my dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife, and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/Slater.
At Creek Carrier, we have some exciting news. We just raised pay across the board, including OTR 21-day drivers who now get an extra 3 cents a mile. Starting pay is between 64 and 69 cents per mile, and the top 50% average $101,000 a year. We're looking for safe, motivated drivers. Go to creekcarrier.com to apply today, or hit pound 250, keyword Crete, to talk to a recruiter right now.
When emergencies happen, cell service is often the first thing to fail. Towers overload, signals drop, and suddenly you can't reach the people who matter most. That's not just frustrating, it can be dangerous. Rapid radios are built for moments like that. These rugged, easy-to-use radios connect over a nationwide LTE network, helping you stay connected virtually anywhere. With no contracts, no monthly fees, and no complicated setup. Whether you're protecting your family at home, traveling off the grid, managing a job site, or preparing for severe weather, Rapid radios give you reliable communication when traditional networks fall short. Right now, you can save up to 60%, and every radio includes a full year of service. Be prepared.